and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. The procedure for impeaching the president and citizenship of foreign soldiers defending Ukraine's front lines were among the few bills passed by in the Verkhovna Rada. To discuss this and other political issues in Ukraine, we're joined in the studio today by Dimitri Vasylev. He's a political expert. Hello, Dimitri, and thank you for coming.
Hello, thank you for inviting.
So, this week, the Verkhovna Rada has not adopted the resolution on the dismissal of Stepan Poltorak from the post of the Defense Minister of Ukraine. The newly elected president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyi, has already announced numbers of resignations to come. Will those really happen?
Well, at least 3 didn't happen this week. Minister of Foreign Affairs, SBU chief, and Poltorak, okay. Minister of Defense. So it means that that what his team is preparing for dismissing Prosecutor General can have the same destiny as this dismissal. So my guesstimate that everybody will be waiting until Constitutional Court decision. What will be the date for the next election? Because right now the parliament will be not interested to do anything which will be in line with the presidential program, because the president was not very polite from the very beginning to Verkhovna Rada. So this is my understanding. The only law which was adopted yesterday, it was the law which can help to impeach the president. So
let's talk about this law a little bit. What would you say about the law? How relevant is it?
The law is good. This is not a law about the impeachment of the president, but this is something which can help to impeach the president according to the regulation which we have in the parliament.
So what's the law about?
This is the law about special commissions which can research on the presidential actions which can violate constitution or some other laws. So basically we're talking about this committee.
Okay, so basically the law does not presume the procedure of the president being
The procedure
impeached.
is already there.
Okay.
The procedure is already there, but there are several things which are extremely difficult. First of all, we don't have this law about special committee and commissions to research on the president's action. We don't have the law on a special prosecutor, which can be the one who can basically announce whether the president was right or not right. And the third thing is the number of people's deputies, MPs, who's got to vote to begin the procedure. And this is 3/4 of the parliament, so this is a little bit more than 340 MPs. And this is at the existing parliament and the next parliament, especially the next parliament, which will be mostly the parliament pro-Zelensky, pro-presidential parliament. It will be extremely difficult to do. And I think it will be almost impossible to do. So with the existing regulation, with the existing procedure, it will be difficult to impeach President Zelensky. Let's resume like this.
Okay, so basically it is just a show for the people?
No, I don't think this is the show. I think it is the process which can help to make this procedure and regulation about the impeachment of the president more coherent and more with the legal base, on the legal base, because it must be there. It must be there. And perhaps in the long run, for the future presidents, and we don't know who will be the next and in how many years, it will be important to have this kind of procedure, and perhaps it can help to stop some of the future presidents from any kind of actions which will be against the law and especially the constitution of Ukraine.
Okay. Let's talk about the parliamentary elections a little bit. Now, the sociological group Rating published the latest data on the poll on parliamentary elections, and it states the party Servant of the People is 48%. The opposition platform also overcomes the 5% barrier, which is almost 11%. And Poroshenko's European Solidarity is 8%, Batkivshina 7%, Vakarchuk's Golos 5.6%. So if the elections are held in July, as it actually could happen, what kind of a coalition could you see?
First of all, I think the dynamics of the ratings and social polls will be a little bit different until 21st July, if the election will take place at that date. I think Sviatoslava Kravchuk's party, Golos, will have much more of the voices. My guesstimate is that it will have from 7 to 8.5% by that time, and I think it will eat a lot of polls from the party of President Zelensky, as well as a little bit from the party of ex-President Poroshenko. And if there will be the parliament consisting with a biggest party from servant of people from President Zelensky, plus Golos, plus I guess a lot of people from a lot of deputies who will be elected as a major system elected deputies. They will get to coalition with President Zelensky party and Sviatoslava Kravchuk Golos. So my guesstimate, they are natural coalition partners for this parliament, which will be after the new election, because all the rest will be totally didn't understood by the people. Who are waiting for new people, new motives, new legislation, and new political leaders, because all the other combination of the coalition will be accepted by people as something which is violation of the will for the change of the political system from the political system itself, which is represented right now by the President Zelensky and his political party.
Coming back to the President Zelensky himself, he has recently visited Brussels. Now, is there a feedback of his visit so far, and how would you evaluate this action?
I think this is a very good visit. Is kind of positive because of several reasons. First, President Zelensky mentioned constitution, that it is actually written in our constitution that Ukraine is naturally going to EU and NATO integration. This is very important, and I think it is something which was expected to be heard from a lot of partners, Western partners of Ukraine, both America and European countries, and that was very important statement. And second, I think that was very important to hear for most of the people who voted for the President Zelensky in Ukraine, because they are they want a change of the political landscape of Ukraine, but actually they do not want to lose that what they have with bezviz, no visa regime with European Union, and all those integration processes, integration to EU structures and NATO coalition.
Well, as a matter of fact, Volodymyr Zelensky has met with the Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, and they have discussed the situation in the east of Ukraine. Now, does that mean that the vector towards the alliance with NATO is going to be preserved?
It is existing, it is there, and I think that there is no doubt that President Zelensky and his team and his administration will keep on that direction, and I hope it will be the same with the political party, which doesn't have too many statements at this stage, and we're expecting what will be the campaign, what will be the program, what they will do in the parliament. But we expect that after they will have a big meeting, basically announcing they go into the parliament on this Sunday. So after that, I think they will explain what is the program and where they go. And my hope is that they will repeat the words of President Zelensky, that actually EU and NATO is something which is engraved in the constitution of Ukraine, and it is preserved.
The situation in the east of Ukraine and the country aggressor, that has attacked Ukraine, which is Russia. And now the statement made by President Zelensky during an interview to one of Ukrainian TV channels, where he said, and I quote here, "We're ready to negotiate with Russia. We're ready to implement the Minsk agreements. However, we must first be able to protect ourselves and to become stronger in economic, political, and military terms." What kind of dialogue did President Zelensky have in mind, in your opinion?
It is difficult to say exactly. And I think the president must describe it more in detail, what he thinks and what he considers is possible. The only thing which actually makes me worry on this stage, that after the accidents, military accidents, which we had over this night and this morning, when we had our 2 soldiers killed and 9 are wounded and in the hospital right now, President Zelensky's statement was that it means, I mean, all these bombings and accidents means that Russia has lost its control under terrorists who are there on occupied territories of Ukraine. And this is something which makes me worry, because President Zelensky says by this way that this is something which is going on between some rebels or people who are there like terrorists in our occupied territories and Ukraine, but not between us and Russia. Also,
but is it really so?
This is not true. And President Zelensky has to understand that this is not true, because that was initiated by Russian Federation, that was financed and continued to be financed by Russian Federation, and all the orders and main kind of directions of the activities and statements are actually done from Kremlin. And I hope President Zelensky will realize it as soon as it will be possible in the nearest future, and will not make any kind of statement like we already quoted just a second ago.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
That was Dimitri Vasylev. He is a political expert. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for more.